realised last year that we'd reached such a critical point in the history of the town and in the need to shape a new future for the town in terms of its economy, its prosperity, the way in which we live together in neighbourhoods, etc., etc. And what we decided to do, rather than sit in the council and come up with plans that we thought were a good idea, we decided to go out and have conversations with people across the town to get their ideas and to capture some of their spirit and their pride and their ambitions for the kind of place they want Hartlepool to be. We called that programme Your Say, Our Future, and we've built this plan around the views that were expressed to us through those conversations that we held across the town. Some very exciting ideas came forward, and we've been able to capture them and harness them in a plan which isn't just about rhetoric. It's a resourced plan that we've also backed our finances behind.
We've got big plans for the town. We're very ambitious. We've got a huge regeneration programme based on the bringing in of the National Museum of the Royal Navy, which was the first key point in actually kick-starting the regeneration programme. We're now looking to develop the waterfront into a site of a destination for tourists, not only in the local region but wider. And then we've got further plans for Church Street, Church Square and into Seaton Carew.
Well, the work in Hartlepool has already started. We've already had installed into the railway station 12 unique pieces of art. They demonstrate that we have 12 visitor attractions at least across the town, and that is already advertised and what a great place Hartlepool is. Secondly, we have planned for September our very first Waterfront Festival, which we hope will turn into an annual event. Got lots of attractions. It should draw people in, not just from the whole of Hartlepool, but from the Tees Valley also. We work collaboratively with the National Museum of the Royal Navy since they came to Hartlepool last year, and they have decided to invest in the site. And then we also have investment in the former General Post Office, which is going to be called The Biz, and that is working with Cleveland College of Art and Design to develop start-up units for young people when they graduate from Cleveland College of Art and Design, but it's very much a collaboration between the council and Cleveland College of Art and Design.
We want to focus on how we build the physical infrastructure of the town. We're about to invest in a regeneration programme around our coast, around the Seaton Carew area, making it and building on its fantastic offer to people as a place to come for tourists, for visitors. We're working in partnership with the National Museum of the Royal Navy about making sure we have a visitor destination of national significance in Hartlepool, and we'll be investing in our waterfront site around that. And next year, our renovation of Church Street and Church Square will be unveiled, which will really place Church Street and Church Square at the heart of this town and provide a place for people to encounter each other, to have fun together, and to come together as a place to be.
The council is working with the Police and Crime Commissioner and Cleveland Police Force and also the Fire Authority, looking at pooling resources together and actually making sure that we focus on the community's priorities and what's true and real to them that's happening on the ground, and making sure we focus and target our resources to tackle that together. And what we'll be seeing is services coming together in one location and then being tasked by the same organisation. That might be the police, that might be the council, but at least we'll be all focusing on the same priorities and addressing and tackling residents' issues a lot quicker.
Plan now, which which is nearing completion, and that sets out a programme for how we want to sensitively grow the housing offer in the town, both within the town centre and elsewhere, to help grow the population and provide a fantastic and living environment for people. As well as invest in some of our estates and neighbourhoods, so that we'll be investing in green space, in public realm, to really, bring our estates and our neighbourhoods to a very high standard to improve the quality of life of people living there. We're focusing in on developing new services for people and communities, and this really is around how we can take our services as close as possible to where people live. We'll be rolling out 3 new integrated community hubs where people can go to access services, and we'll also be looking at ways in which we can bring into being new services which are integrated between health and social care, to make sure that people can be looked after well when they're in need of support, by not just social care services working separately from health, but by integrated teams, so they're only having to tell their story once.
Apprentices are really important to the council. They provide the employees for the future, they provide training opportunities for the town's young people, and they are the future senior managers of the authority.
As a council, we are committed to being a good employer, and we recognise that we are one of the biggest employers in the town. And unless we create apprenticeship and traineeship and job opportunities for young people, then we can't expect other employers to do the same.
It's important to get more services online because that's a general trend in society. It's something that the council's committed to doing, to give people further opportunities to engage with the council. We'll still keep the existing channels for those people who don't want to do it online, but there are plenty of people who do want to contact the council online to deal with us effectively 24 hours a day. When the offices might be closed, they can still deal with the council.
A good example of how we want to create pathways into the new kind of jobs that are going to be created in Hartlepool will be the opening of a new centre based at the former Northern Lights Academy in September of this year, which will be providing high quality, innovative technical education pathways into the creative and cultural industries for children who are currently in school aged 14. This will enable them to start pathways which will lead them into gaining the skills and qualifications they will need to get good quality jobs in the creative and cultural industries, and we're being seen as a model of excellence in terms of ways in which technical education pathways can run alongside the national curriculum to provide a more diverse offer for children and young people in secondary schools. One of the questions we're trying to understand is, are children and young people in our primary schools achieve at some of the highest levels in the country, but we're still not getting those kind of outcomes from our secondary schools. So an important piece of work is starting this year to build better transition points between primary and secondary, to enable our schools, our primary schools and secondary schools, to start working together in much more comprehensive ways, much more joined up ways, which will enable children to make good transition from their primary schools into their secondary schools and build on the good progress they made in primary and take that forward into secondary. So that's one example of ways in which we will be working in partnership with schools across Hartlepool and encouraging schools to work with each other.
We've already started our work on the council plan. It's a 3-year plan, and really it's trying to promote Hartlepool for the fabulous place it is. It really is an exceptional place. We've got a remarkable and distinctive heritage, and we want to promote Hartlepool to be a very vibrant place, welcoming, inspiring, and we want it to be an excellent place to live, visit, work and invest.